Hey there friends and welcome to Laugh Napkin. My name is Frank, and today we'll be checking out the subreddit r/idontworkehrelady with a short bonus story from a mystery subreddit if you make it to the end. If you're new around here and enjoy these Reddit stories, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Big shout out to Nelly Nightshade for the comment of the day. And this first story comes from user That Armenian Guy. I'm Armenian American, and I look kind of Armenian and kind of American, but have a ginger beard. I was wearing basketball shorts and a black t-shirt along with my white gold necklace. I went to Best Buy with a friend and his mother, and we were in the home theater section. I love me some home theater. As I'm helping them pick out some speakers and explaining in Armenian how the home theater components work, I feel a tug on my necklace. Now this necklace was given to my father from his now deceased mother, and he gave it to me. It means a lot to me. I felt the tug on my chain and turned around angrily to see a man in his mid-40s or so. I'll call him A for a-hole and M for me. A-hole, can you hurry up with them and help out the rest of the people here? And you shouldn't be speaking in foreign languages in America, especially while you're working. Me, I don't work here, and if you touch me again, we're going to have a problem. You don't get to talk to customers like that and still have a job. Where's your manager? This isn't whatever crap hole you came from. You can't treat people like this. The irony was not lost on me, and I was getting very mad. My friend knows that when I start smiling while I'm angry, I get a little stupid. So he tells me to relax and kind of guides me away from him. Security is coming over to us at this point, as the a-hole has decided to follow my friend and me. A-hole keeps ranting as I'm trying to stay calm, and my friend is doing his best impression of a peace-filled monk. For context, I have a shaved head to go with the beard, and I don't look super friendly, although I try to be most of the time. Security comes over to me first and asks me to go with him. I agree and tell my friend and his mother to come to get away from the a-hole. As security is walking with us to sort out what's going on, a-hole decides to poke the side of my face. This causes a problem as I push a-hole away angrily, but thankfully my friend grabs me and keeps me from retaliating. A-hole then spits on my friend while trying to spit on me, and he says some more racist things. Security goes to grab a-hole, but before he gets there, we hear a loud smack and see a-hole stumble a few steps to the left. My friend's mother, she's in her late 50s and we're both in our 20s, had taken off her thick-soled immigrant sandal and smacked the man on the side of his face. Hard. Very hard. If anyone knows what those sandals are like, they are the ultimate weapon in the hand of a mother. I would rather deal with a Navy SEAL than a mother with those sandals. Security tackles the guy. My friend calms his mother and cops arrive. After reviewing the tapes and taking statements, the guy gets arrested for a couple counts of assault and battery. I get confused for a worker all the time, especially if I speak Armenian to someone else. This was the first time it had gotten physical, and only the third time I had a confrontational exchange about it. I couldn't believe it had actually happened for another couple hours, and I'm still weirded out about it. We ended up getting a sweet deal for some ELAC speakers for him. I don't know if I pronounced ELAC right, guys. Let me know in the comments below. So it was a net positive experience. Wow, dude straight up got slapped with an Armenian mother's sandal. I'm not gonna lie, that probably hurt like a son of a bitch. Let's pretend every like on this video is another sandal slap to the face. Dude deserves at least a few hundred more slaps. Let's give it to him. This next story comes from user Agent Mulder. I read a story on here a month back about a person who drives a retired police interceptor. See, I also drive one too. Black and white with a push bar and a spotlight. But no emblems or anything, scratched up paint everywhere. I'm saving up to get it repainted so I don't intend to appear like I'm law enforcement. One day, I'm sitting around in my car in the back of a parking lot of a business, out of sight and out of mind, munching on a Subway sandwich, minding my own business. I'm so enthralled in my sandwich when I hear a sharp rapping on my window. I look up mid-bite at an older lady, who matches those "I want to talk to your manager" memes to a T. I roll down my window and ask how I can help her. Crazy lady, "Oh, you finally managed to come out here and make your presence known? I've been complaining to the police for weeks about the homeless who hang out in the area around our businesses. Look, there's one right there." She proceeds to point at a guy who was well away from anything, just sitting there doing nothing, out of the way. Me. Ma'am, I'm sorry if there's a mistake. I'm not a cop. This is just a retired cruiser. If you want me to go somewhere else, I don't mind. What I want you to do is stop lying to me. Get off your butt and tell that homeless to leave. First of all, don't effing talk to me like that. I've been nothing but courteous to you and honest. I'm not a cop. I would suggest calling the non-emergency line for the local police departments. I pay your salary, a-hole. You have no right to talk to me like that. So unprofessional. So I promptly roll up my window, which is super tinted, and go back to eating my sandwich and turn the radio up. Next thing you know, a few minutes later, I get a few cops roll up with lights and sirens, surround my car, and tell me to get out of the car. I promptly comply. They search me, let me go, and start talking to me. They said they got a call that someone was impersonating an officer and was still parked here. An important thing to note is that I've been doing monthly ride-alongs with this police department for a few years now, so I'm a little acquainted with most of the officers. Luckily, one of them who showed up as backup knew me, knew that I drove, and knew that it's not something I'd ever do, as I've shown them nothing but respect for my rides with them. Fast forward a few minutes, they talk to the homeless guy who confirms that I've done nothing but sit there and eat my sandwich in peace. They turn to the lady and start lecturing her on lying like that, how it could have turned into a dangerous situation for me, and how she's tying up emergency resources on this. She doesn't like this and gets mouthy with the officers. Cue some more, I pay your salary, I want a supervisor, etc. Supervisor comes down and is actually a sergeant I'm friends with who's been pushing me to test and join the police department. Really nice guy, really good at his job and de-escalating any situation. She starts shouting at him and ends up poking him in the chest with her fingers. He tells her to not ever do that again, and that she's lucky she's not already arrested. She proceeds to tell him to piss off, and shoves him. Next thing you know, she's in cuffs, slapped with a bunch of charges, and crying in tears in the back of a patrol car. Sergeant walks up to me and tells me what happened and that the police department is going to press charges. Cue all of us laughing at the situation, and they leave. I walk up to the homeless guy who basically told him the truth about what happened. Ask him if he's hungry, to which he says yes. Buy him a sandwich from the Subway next door, he thanks me, I thank him, and I continue on my way. This is basically what solidified the idea that I need to repaint my car. Thanks for reading, guys. Ooh, as I was reading this story, I was just hoping that this entitled hag of a lady was arrested. And she was. It was well deserved. She was the real criminal here. This next story comes from user GiantKJB. I was shopping for groceries at ShopRite. Their store colors and uniform were black and green. At this point in my life, I was a high school teacher, but I had also worked customer service jobs for over 10 years, which I think informs my reaction. I was wearing a red and blue hoodie, with the hood up, headphones on, and completely oblivious to my surroundings. By no means did I look like I was working there. I was also carrying around a basket with some avocados, a pineapple, and other assorted produce. One thing I definitely did not have at the moment, bananas. So I'm looking around for something, and I'm not really moving, but standing out of the way of other customers. I'm sort of registering a strange voice speaking, but as many others on this subreddit, I have no reason to assume I'm being spoken to. I finally find what I'm looking for, and I want to head that way, when I realize there's a cart blocking my way. The lady pushing the cart is looking at me and saying something. She looked like she's about 60 and is roughly 5'3". Her voice sounded like she had been smoking every day since she was 13. I take my headphones off and realize she's yelling at me. Bananas! I look at her incredulously, but she repeats herself, this time louder. Bananas! I'm sorry, what? Where are their bananas? I had been having a good day. I didn't have work, was looking forward to cooking myself dinner and playing some games. I was not expecting an old lady to be yelling at me about bananas. Now, I don't handle confrontation very well, so when I responded, I immediately match her attitude. I don't know where the bananas are, I don't give a crap where the bananas are. After this, she looks surprised and annoyed, and starts muttering to herself. Something about manager and rude. Exactly what you would imagine someone like her to say. At this point, I realize I handled the situation wrong, and that I had an opportunity. So I go up to her as she finds someone who definitely does work for ShopRite and may have been a manager. I say, hey, before you started screaming at this guy too, you need to know 1, I don't work here. 2, even if I did, I don't know who the F you think you were talking to, but you do not talk to another human being like that. I think the teacher in me and the 10 years of pent-up customer service anger got let out onto this angry banana addict. I didn't stay to find out her reaction. Well guys, I think it's safe to say that this lady was a little bananas about bananas. Okay, that was a horrible joke. And after that horrible joke, it's time for the bonus story of the day, which comes from the subreddit Choosing Beggars. And my goodness, talk about people that want everything for nothing. This story is disgusting. This story comes from user Spartan Engineer 92, and it's titled, I applied for a janitorial job for large apartment complex. The interview was a group interview, which I thought was weird, but whatever. I needed a job and some extra cash while I finish up my degree. The interviewers went on and on about the goal-oriented and top-level characteristics people needed to have to accelerate at this position. They even said something along the lines of, the people we decide to go with will be lucky to be a part of this team. I sat quietly during the entire group interview, which was basically them stating that they would only consider the best people for the job. It was a cleaning up, vacuuming, picking up trash, washing windows type of job. To be honest, it was kind of a joke. They made it sound so special and like you should be proud to be chosen. Then someone asked a question about buying equipment and supplies. I immediately thought the guy was an idiot for asking who would be responsible for buying it. Obviously, I thought that would be provided by the apartment complex since they were hiring janitors. Oh man, was I wrong. They let it slip that they would not be providing any of the cleaning materials or vacuums or anything. All the cost was supposed to be picked up by the specially chosen employee without reimbursement. I walked out of the room at that point. They ended up calling me for the job 3 times. I had to explain each time that I wasn't picking up the bill to buy cleaning supplies for a minimum wage job. No thanks, and good luck finding a sap to work for you. Seriously guys, what the hell kind of job pays you minimum wage and doesn't provide you equipment to get the job done? That place can get bent. And that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you had an amazing time. And if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. And if you don't like this video, hit that thumbs down. And if you're new to my channel and had a good time, go ahead and subscribe for future videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video.